I've even searched for the original video and yet have found nothing. But it makes you wonder, if this clip is true, why not just tell if you know? But the real question is, do y'all believe this is clickbait? Do y'all actually believe that this person, whoever it is, actually may know what happened to Nolan Wells? Or is this individual just doing it for clout and attention? A lot of people are speculating that this tragedy that happened to Nolan Wells, somebody knows the shit. Somebody seen something, somebody recorded something, somebody knows something. Is this gonna be that brings the truth to the light? I can't wait to find out. Count me out.
The girl that Nolan Wells was allegedly with is speaking out, and there's some contradictions. Now, Katie is obviously cooperating with authorities, so is her sister, and so is the brother and the brother's fiance. They're also cooperating with Nolan Wells' family, and from what we understand, they're all on the same page, Katie and Nolan Wells' family. According to Katie's sister, Nolan Wells and Katie were on Horn Island talking, communicating, having a good time. Eventually, Katie was picked up by her brother and the brother's fiance via boat. The sister alleges that Katie mentioned to her, again, hearsay, but again, that Katie mentioned to her that her brother and the fiance picked her up from Horn Island and, left. And that Katie assumed that Nolan was going to go back with the friends that he ended up on Horn Island with. So again, Nolan Wells showed up with a bunch of people when he originally met Katie. Katie assumed that he was just going to leave with those said friends. It's also very important that we mention that Katie has been extremely cooperative with authorities. I know I mentioned it already. I'm going to mention it again. And very cooperative with the Wells family, answering pretty much any question that they have about what happened. So she seems to be very vocal, very confident, and very direct about what happened that day. I don't think the problem lies with Katie.
Where's the throat?
I'm going to need y'all to tighten up.
There is something going on. These people are running a smear campaign against Brandon Tatum. He took up upon himself to interview Nolan's friend. And at some point, there are a lot of things we didn't know about this whole case. Now it is coming out. They don't like that. Nancy Grace came into the whole show, came out of her retirement to talk about this. And I saw a lot of Democrats celebrating on social media like this is a deal. They are going to see into the end of this. At some point, I've been wondering, what exactly is even going on here? And Nancy Grace made a mistake. She was corrected immediately.
Where's the throat? I know we have deep red markings on the occipital bone that's in the back of the... thank you. This is directly from the autopsy. We want you to see what the family has seen. Don't you think, Joe Scott Morgan, that the second medical examiner might need the throat to figure out what happened?
Let me tell you where the neck is. Or the organs of the neck, as it's referred to. These neck structures are actually being held by the Mississippi State Medical Examiner's Office. And they don't just arbitrarily hold things like this, Nancy. This is something that would commonly go with the body when the body is released. So I deduce the fact that they have seen something there that they're trying to hold on to from an evidentiary value. Remember, the state still has an ongoing investigation in this case, and they see evidentiary value in this. But the problem is that when you get into these structures in the neck, one of the things you're trying to assess is, was this a drowning? Also, is there any kind of trauma? If people will just put their hands right here in the midline of your neck, you'll feel that kind of cartilaginous body there. That's cartilage, right?
The Navy participated in the search, and I got to clear up that whole thing about fully clothed with you. That said, isn't it true? And I'm looking at the picture on my phone that I got from an undisclosed source. I'm looking at Nolan's body on the beach. We are not showing it. He's face down, isn't he?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, he was when we flew over.
Okay, I'm going to come back to you about the clothing.
Yeah.
What? Repeat?
No, I said when we observed him from the air, yeah, he was face down and he was wearing swim trunks and only swim trunks. I think that the term fully clothed just got taken out of context.
Well, when you look at the body from high up, it appears at first like he had on a shirt. with swim trunks, but he does not have on a shirt. He only has on swim trunks. That's a whole peripheral issue.
Yes, Nancy Gray was immediately corrected. United Gordon Mavy retweeted this video. Nope, it was taken out of context. Also, clarify on Nancy Grace again. We have always been totally accurate and we fact check misinfo in real time. Serafio retweeted it. I created an updated post stating that you clarify. Seems like many have had to make clarifying statement, which is fine. Sometimes people misunderstand, but I bet the only person who will not make a clarifying statement will be Ben Crumb. Since this case came in, a lot of people continue to spread misinfo about the whole thing. And if you look at it critically, you realize, I don't know if
I'm going to need y'all to tighten up. I cannot understand why y'all keep platforming somebody who is a known antagonist to the Black community while we're watching two Black parents grieve the loss of their Black son. I cannot understand why y'all keep replaying parts of an interview from someone who claims to be Nolan Wells's brother and best friend, but walked the same shoreline where Nolan Wells's body washed up and did not shed one tear. I seen real gangsters on the stoop screaming, crying at the loss of their homies, and y'all telling me that old buddy from Mississippi ain't shed not one tear? And that's on the dead homies, while he's on a shoreline where a Black body washed up. Sounds familiar, don't it? I'm confused about why y'all got more questions about how attorney Ben Crump is pronouncing medical terms, meanwhile he's an attorney, than y'all do about why we still don't have the original autopsy.
it is extremely shocking to see what this man is saying here. Everybody don't want to be in that bubble. Immediately when you remove yourself in that bubble, these are the kind of comments you will get. According to him, you should see a lot of Black people commenting. Why is it that the only white people that comment? It is crazy. If you follow the right path, you try to contradict the kind of narrative that they always try to bring up every single time, the kind of audience you attract will obviously be the people who want the truth. Yeah, it's the same thing I used to do here. When I started putting out videos here, the kind of people who used to comment on my videos, at some point I started losing subscribers because I deviated away from that narrative after I understand exactly what they've been doing for a very long time. It's not about because they benefit from issue of race. We don't want to talk about race, but every single time you always bring up race.
Nolan Wells should be alive today, but instead he was just laid to rest in Mississippi. We stand with his parents, we stand with his family, and we stand with his community in calling for a complete and thorough criminal investigation.
Looking at the way the case is and the autopsy that came out, which they could not actually even see find any foul play, they are still struggling to twist it to come up with something, which I'm here to observe to see the end of this. I don't want to prolong the video. I want you to see what exactly is going on. I want to appreciate people supporting, sharing out the video. They don't recommend videos again on this channel, so I'm begging on you, please, always hit the videos and share out. God bless you abundantly. So the social clips are end. That's what White Great.
UFC fight
gave the president and his acolytes an opportunity where the gladiator's god was praised for his
80th birthday.
When you come for the rest.
6-1 underdog. How good does this feel?
Never do this again.
Went under to jurors, but it was shown.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah. So with all eyes on California, you can see exactly what's happening.
It was on here in the Golden State.
in 39 days.
About qualification.
Odysseus,
Telemachus,
Penelope, Antinous,
Odysseus,
Athena,
Telemachus.
This clip of Elliot Page is going to be what tanks the Odyssey movie. It's supposed to be a warrior, right? A warrior, big, strong warrior. Look how Elliot Page is running.
One thing I feel really fortunate about.
How did that go?
Well, it's Chris Nolan.
And don't watch my movies.
And getting to work with someone like Chris.
He's got a PhD in THC.
The way I see it is they have one of two choices. One,
they can make things right, or two,